Hey everybody, welcome to Movie Mavens. A show about movies or something. I don't remember our intro actually. There's a double feature involved. Home with a double feature. I'm Carson Green.
Spicy double feature.
There we go.
Spicy double feature.
Spicy. I'm Carson Green.
And I'm Annie James. This week, our spicy dub is... I just am putting together that you're thrown off because usually we do the diary first. And now because we're starting with this, you're like, what's the fucking script?
Dude, I'm
what
telling
is this
you.
Show?
Routine.
Okay. Well, our double feature this week is I Saw the TV Glow and The Mask.
Yeah. Wow. What makes this spicy?
Particularly, there is an interview with the filmmaker of I Saw the TV Glow, Jane Schobrun. And they kept liking the themes of I Saw the TV Glow to the premise of The Mask. And it came up in like 3 different questions, and then it became kind of a running joke of the interview. So this is on Vulture, by the way, if you're curious. But I had never seen The Mask, and it seemed like a fun double feature. The main characters are also obsessed with TV shows. Jim Carrey was obsessed with cartoons. Those are the spicy connections, at least that I know of.
I can think of nothing else.
Nothing else is in alignment between these two films.
No, honestly, like after watching The Mask as the double feature, I was really quite surprised that to learn that this is where she was drawing inspiration from.
In that interview, like watching it back, I feel like it's more the concept than anything to do with the film.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think they just thought they were being cute.
Yeah.
Which was honestly like it was a prank on our part because it made us watch a bad movie. We pranked ourselves.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is what happened. But you know what? Let's get into it. Let's talk about I Saw the TV Glow.
Do you remember a TV show we used to watch together? It was called...
The Pinko Pig?
Yeah. Do you watch? Each episode, they help each other fight a new monster from across the county. But it's way too scary for most kids.
We're gonna defeat him this time. We're gonna need to harness the full potential of our shared powers.
Sometimes the Pinko Pig feels more real than real life.
Maddie, it was a TV show.
Are you sure that's all it was?
Annie, would you mind please hitting me with some facts?
I wouldn't mind one little bit. This movie came out on January 18th, 2024, but it hit wide, at least as wide as Albuquerque, May 16th. It's directed by Jane Schobrun, starring Justice Smith and Bridget Lundy Payne. It has an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is the description from IMDb. 2 teenagers bond over their love of a supernatural TV show, but it is mysteriously canceled. That's the vague overview, but really it's about this kid named Owen. He makes a friend named Maddie. I mean, not even a friend. He meets someone named Maddie. And they bond over this TV show that he is really connected with and she is really connected with. And the film spans many years of that as a premise and goes some weird, wacky places. So if you don't want to get spoiled, go see the film. But before we really dive into a spoiler, Carson, would you just recommend this? And yes or no to whomst?
Yes, I recommend this to indie fans. This is not a Fall Guy audience. You know what I mean?
Yes, most certainly. I know what you mean. Mostly, the reason I think I'm hesitant to recommend it is because I think structurally it is unique in a way that I don't think most people will get down with.
Yeah. That was, that's interesting you bring that up. That is something that's like my biggest critique of the film, I think, is like it felt like narrative structure wise, it felt almost amateurish. But then, like I gave it a grain of salt and I just wanted to mirror like what was happening in the film with like what we were watching. And I wanted to mirror that narrative. And I wanted to believe that all of it was really intentional. And I think after having watched that interview, honestly, I think that the filmmaker is very thoughtful, and you can walk away from it looking at it like that and forgiving a lot of it, I think, because the subject matter is so gentle.
I felt that this movie had a lot of intention.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know that I vibed with its execution at times. Because I think something about this film was a little too meditative for me. Like, there was a little too much of our character walking as the camera dollies beside them.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little too much not having anything to do with the story, which I think, again, is the intention, but not my bread and butter. It's not my, like, the filmmaking I love to watch. And I've even heard, like, it described this way, and that the experience of consuming it as a film can sometimes felt frustrating even, because I just, like, feel like there's some huge shit at hand, and we're not looking at it or talking about it or even thinking about it. And but that, saying that out loud, it's like that's what it's about,
right?
Because like this whole movie is like an allegory or a representation of, according to the director, of a trans person who does not yet realize they are trans. That is like what Owen is supposed to represent. So saying that out loud, like, well, that is what the movie is also about. So all of that makes me really appreciate it. And I've really been thinking about it a lot since I've seen it. But I just didn't love it because it's just not my jam.
It felt a lot like walking through a liminal space.
Yes. But that was cool too.
Yeah.
Like the space, there's this huge twist that we should talk about, that like perhaps the world of our main characters is not a real world, but is like a limbo, a liminal space between the Peak Opaque, which is the TV show that the characters are obsessed with, and then an actual other reality, like the real world. And it did feel that way.
Okay, I want to talk about the theme. I want to talk about like the central quiet part of a trans person's experience, because in the 2 or 3 a kind of explicit like finger pointing moments that we get with Maddie and Owen, in which Maddie is kind of maybe pulling a curtain back for Owen, or at least attempting to. I didn't really I hate saying this, like, it just felt kind of disingenuous on Maddie's part. I think especially because, like, as the film goes on, we can trust Maddie less and less. And it felt kind of like, I'm thinking specifically about this scene where they're sitting on the bleachers and she's kind of asking him, like, she says, I like girls, right? And he's like, okay. And then she says, who do you like? And he was like, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. And I felt like that was a genuine answer. And then the comparisons that she draws, and she's like, oh, well, you're kind of like whatever the girl character in the Peak Opaque that she thinks that Owen really is. You're kind of like that character. And then just kind of assigns that to Owen, but we don't really see Owen own that. And I think maybe that could also be very intentional too, of like just a suppression on Owen's part, and we're the only ones as the audience that can look in on that. But I don't know, it felt like a very delicate subject that is kind of muddled, and I didn't walk away loving that. And I think I wanted to focus what I liked about it completely on like the peak opaque of it all.
I totally see everything you're saying, and I felt a lot of the same things.
Mm-hmm.
And this brings me to like one of my main issues I have with this film, of which there are two things. What the pink opaque was nothing. It was just nothing. It was just like unbelievable that it took me out. Like just like clowns dancing or ice cream man dancing or other guy dancing. And it was just like, no, there was no substance there. Because if it was about something and if Owen like truly saw himself in this character, and I would like emotionally, that would have gotten me a lot more. And I would have like I would have seen this character more. I would have seen who he was, who he wants to be. And that would have emotionally got me way more invested. And every time we saw the pink opaque, it like tonally took me out of it because it was just so silly.
It was really silly, but it's also like that's that's what teenagers are interested in. That's what preteens were watching, you know? Like we watch those shows.
You're right. I guess I shouldn't say that it's just silly because the silliness is a part of the tone that was back then. But when we would cut to the show and it wouldn't be anything, like it would just be someone dancing at the camera versus like when we'd see the main characters and it felt more like a show. Like they should have utilized anytime we saw the pink opaque a lot more, in my opinion, to drive the narrative or to drive character.
Anything. It felt like a really aesthetic liminal space, and it felt like we were kind of like just touching, just kind of like rubbing our finger on what could be a very compelling and very interesting plot. However, like I think it was just like really aesthetic, and I think we were watching a movie about two kids, and like it felt like the movie was for two kids.
It's the LaCroix of drinking beverages. It's like a distant whisper of a cool film, but is aesthetically pleasing and is a bit of a vibe right now. It's cool.
Yeah, it's trendy.
Which I see a lot of love for this online, and I wish that it hit me the way that it's hitting other people. I would like to bring up the second thing that really didn't work for me, and then after that the stakes are less low.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think that young Owen and regular Owen look way too different.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I was like, who is that?
Yes. Yeah. Like once we get Owen in the 7th grade, the same man is going to play him until he's like decrepit. And so it's like we have this kid, and then there's a 2-year age gap, and we're supposed to believe that now he's this guy.
Yeah.
And that really was kind of a bummer and really held this film back.
I agree. And also, now that you've brought it up, let's talk about the end.
Okay, let's dive right there. Cowabunga.
It felt okay. So I'm thinking very specifically of that very end.
When Owen is like gasping for breath.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like that whole sequence of
once
him
he's that
at
old.
his job. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. There were. That felt really just like tacked on. That felt almost like it felt like like the film got a little bit lost, and it needed to include any sort of additional fantastical element for us as the audience to believe that what Maddie was saying could potentially be true.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't read it like that, but I could see your line of thinking there 100%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is how I read it.
Okay.
I was expecting another little act after that one where he is like, fuck this, I'm gonna be myself and go bury my body in the dirt and then reawaken. Mm-hmm. And So I kind of invented the classic nice Hollywood ending, like, yay, he did it. And that didn't happen. And when
No.
it didn't happen, I was like, what the fuck? And then I'm thinking, why did it end there? What just happened? And it's like, he gets so close to death, and yet the last thing we see him do is like walk back out and is just apologizing to everyone for who he was. And that was like so sad. Like it is intentionally really sad, because it's like this guy did not take the red pill or whatever. This guy did not figure out who he was. He didn't like self-actualize. And it's just a bummer. I stand by wanting the happy ending. I get like maybe this is super powerful. Anyways, that's how I saw it. But so you're thinking that like that section was the most magical, which it was. Like everyone froze for a moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, dog barking. Obviously, there was some fantastical stuff. I mean, we saw...
You felt like that was there to prove that she was right, which I agree with.
I think it was, yeah. Or at least, like, kind of nudge us as the audience in that direction.
I think that's what it was trying to do, too. Like, it was... Which I appreciate. It wasn't going to leave it ambiguous. Like, I feel that she wasn't trying to trap him. She wasn't lying. I think the right thing to do was bury himself back there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think just like that whole sequence, it began when after his dad died, and he said, I got a family of my own, and then we don't see the family. And then like we just see like sequences of years passing, and he's doing this like kind of monologue, and it felt rushed. It felt tacked on. It just didn't feel like a part of the story. And I think, it's just like supposed to be ambiguous, which like just doesn't feel satisfying as a viewer.
I liked all of it in that I was just like taken for a ride. I was like, where the hell are we going?
Yeah.
But yeah, when you zoom back out, it is like kind of all of a sudden that it starts being that way. Because otherwise it's pretty grounded in this like Owen at school.
Yeah.
But there is this like distinct moment. It's like once he sees the snow globe for me, then everything in the movie is different. And I think that's why that like the pacing of that ending didn't bother me as much, because it felt like after that snow globe moment, like we're like new fucking world, new reality. Now we're going to tell the story like this, which is very weird and unique, and partially doesn't work, partially is really awesome. That's kind of a lot of this film.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's fine. It genuinely did not leave a huge impression. And I'm also seeing a lot of love for this movie. And like, if people are reading very positively into what could potentially be a trans experience or a non-binary experience, and that it has gone mainstream, fuck yeah, I support that. As a film, extremely did not land for me, unfortunately, but it is pretty.
Yeah. I don't think I also loved how not deadpan, but I don't know, our main characters are very dry. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of extreme emoting going on, or even just like talking out loud to each other. I just like a little bit more.
They're
on.
autistic for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I'm watching a movie.
Period.
Okay. I thought it was really dope how many years had passed over the course of the story. That was just like really unique. I thought it was really unique how the main character, or the best friend Maddie, disappears, and how like the scene where Owen is like vomiting up the Luna liquid also confirms what reality like is the true reality in this.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is like when he goes back to rewatch Pink Opaque and it's completely different. One, that's a cool idea, but two, it's weird that it wasn't different when he like revisited the tapes that one time. And then that made me think, why did we not see, like when he says we see in a flashback that Maddie sent him a tape after she disappeared and it was the season finale of the show. Why was that not just a scene? How cool would that have been? Like, what? I thought she was missing. And instead it's like breaking the fourth wall with this dry narration telling
Yeah.
us that happened.
Yeah, like why would he not go to the police? Also,
I don't know. Well, sorry to disappoint any of y'all. I did enjoy it, and I'm ready to score it.
sure. Okay, go ahead.
I'll give it a 7.
Okay, I also enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a 6. Let me tell you before we move on. Let me tell you about what a time I had going to this movie. Okay, so in Burbank, California, there are 3 different AMC movie theaters, and they are all named different things.
Okay. I'm following.
Within a 1 mile radius.
Jeez.
And 2 of them are in the mall.
They're wondering why the movie theaters are failing. This seems like bad business.
It's 2 of them are in the mall. I went to the wrong one, and then I had to go through like a dark alley and then a parking garage that had a Tesla graveyard in it.
Oh my God.
It felt like I was in the movie.
That is wild.
I don't recommend ever going to AMC in Burbank, California. Any
of
3
them.
of them. Oh my God. One of them, not one that I went to, one of the AMCs in Burbank was the one. Did I ever tell you? No, I'm sure I did. I went to go see Oppenheimer,
Yes. Uh-huh.
and it was during Barbenheimer weekend, dude.
Yeah.
And this is a theater with like 16 screens. Somebody pulled the fire alarm. Had to evacuate.
Oh, the son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Tesla Graveyard. What's that about? What the hell is that?
Okay, thank you for circling back on that.
Yes.
There was 2 entire floors of this parking garage that had literally nothing but Teslas. When I tell you, it was like genuinely surreal. It was actually scary. It was dark outside and just like rows and rows of Teslas. And I don't know if you saw that movie, Leave the World Behind.
No, I never watched that one.
Okay, I don't recommend that you do, but there's this scene where the dealership recalls, or like there's some sort of like fuck up in the Tesla software, and so the dealership recalls all of the cars, and so they all just are like going 100 miles an hour towards the dealership, and then it's just like a Tesla pile up on the highway for as long as the eye can see, and they're still going. Like there's still all these Teslas just zooming by and crashing into one another. And then seeing this massive Tesla graveyard, like I got flashbacks and I was scared. Okay, these things
Yeah.
are sentient.
Yeah. That is crazy. So why? Do you know the reason behind the capitalist reason behind a Tesla graveyard?
Dude, girl, I know.
Carson's shaking her head no.
I know about as much as we know about the Pico Pake.
Okay, say no more. Oh man. All right, let's move on and just real quick talk about The Mask.
This is the story of Stanley Ipkiss.
Stanley, you are the nicest guy. Really, you are.
His job is at the bank.
You're 40 minutes late. Now, that's the same as stealing.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dickey. It'll never happen again.
He loves his dog.
Come on, man. Give him to me. Drop it.
He's polite to his landlord.
Ipkiss, do you have any idea what time it is?
You know, Mrs. Peenman?
What?
Nothing.
And the most exciting thing in his life are his pajamas. But now,
Hey, you! What are you doing down there?
I'm just looking for my mask.
all that is about to change. Because Stanley Ipkiss is not the man he used to be.
Smoking!
Okay, Annie, would you please hit me with some facts?
This movie came out in 1994. It was directed by Chuck Russell, starring Jim Carrey, Cameron Diaz, and Peter Green. It has an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. Here's the description from IMDb. Bank clerk Stanley Ipkiss is transformed into a maniac superhero when he wears a mysterious mask. Okay, this is the first time watch for me.
Wow.
I'm assuming you've seen it before?
Yeah, this is one of my brother's favorite movies as a kid. So would watch it just peripherally.
And what did you think about it this time around?
It is genuinely exceptionally stupid. It is like uniquely bad. There's so many just icky and awful things about this movie. Number one, who's the audience? Who is this movie for? Besides like my 13-year-old brother.
I don't know, because like the problem starts all the way at the premise for me at answering that question. Because it's like ancient mask, got it,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That turns you into, okay, I'm following a cartoon kind of character. Like you have cartoon powers. Also, there's no rules, but like you have a green face. Like there's not enough rules for me to even make it make sense.
Yeah. It felt like a movie written for Jim Carrey to play.
I had the same thought, but like it's based on a comic book, and that's why it's, I think, weird like that. But there's something about Jim Carrey to this, because I thought it had the same thing, same idea.
Dude, what was with all the clocks? Why did the mask have so many clocks?
I think that was just a cartoon prop. Like for Looney Tunes, it's like they have like 5 things, like a stick of dynamite, a clock, I guess.
The bazooka.
Dude, this movie was so weird. And I am bummed because at first when it started, I was like, I was having fun, because we never watch something like this is not in our smattering of viewings. And the second the mask showed up, I was like, oh, it's over. Like this is terrible. And it never got better.
No, it didn't. And I'm just going to rapid fire some just really terrible things here.
Yes, please do.
Okay, the pimp suits.
Yeah, never addressed why. Just, I think, because he's supposed to be cool.
Okay, so cool in the 90s is dressing like a pimp in the 50s. Okay, got it. Okay, number 2, adjacent, the Moroccan dance, or excuse me, whenever he calls himself, what was it, Cuban Pete, and he's like shaking the maracas and doing the dance in front of the cop.
Is that the one cop, or is that when there's a lot of cops?
That's when there's a lot of cops. With all with guns drawn, by the way. There's
actually some funny cop stuff in this that felt like modern almost, weirdly, but I like the cops joining in on the dance. Like that as an idea.
Yeah.
I was actually into that. That was like one of the only things I was like, that's fun. How they like can't help but sing, or they can't help but shake their hips.
Yeah.
Cute. Everything else is terrible.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to shout out this one part where the bank robbers like get all the money stolen from the mask, and then 2 cops come around the corner in their cars, and the guys go, cops, and then they all start shooting at them, the cops, immediately, like as soon as he said that, and that made me laugh out loud.
Okay, that, and then whenever they shot at Jim Carrey and just the random woman in the dark alley, they're just like shots fired, like open, shoot. What?
Yes.
What?
Yes, dude.
Okay.
This movie is insane.
The scene where, there's 2 Cameron Diaz scenes, which, by the way, this is her first movie.
What?
First movie.
Okay.
Okay. When we get introduced to her, I don't know if you noticed this, but the camera begins at her cleavage, and then we get
yeah, I know. Oh, for sure, I noticed.
Slow-mo, head shaking out her hair, slow-mo pan up. I was like, this is like, if I was going to write a paper on the male gaze, this included.
That's typical, but then it has like the mask character turning into a literal dog going like a wooga, wooga, cartoon style. Remember, those cartoons were a lot older than this, so surely we had figured that out. And I was not allowed to watch this movie when I was a kid because it came out before I was born. And seeing it now, I was like, yeah, that's fair, because there's so much crap like that in this. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, who is this movie for? Like, it's so childish, it's so juvenile, but then there's also like shootouts and a guy bleeding out on a couch and like Cameron Diaz's tits and okay, there's just one more scene and then I'll tell you the one only thing I liked about it and then I'm done. Okay. Then the scene where Cameron Diaz went to go see Jim Carrey in jail and she like professes her love for him.
Uh-huh. Just that as a scene.
Just what, like literally, quite literally what? She was doing like a sexy baby voice. She was like, I'm a hopeless romantic. What the fuck?
I was like fully in low power mode by that scene. Like, I tried to watch this movie with as little like brain power as I could put into it.
Okay, but I will say the one and only thing that I did like about this movie was Milo the dog. What a superstar, dude.
He was a star. I was impressed like scene after scene with that little dog.
Yeah, he stole the show.
He truly did. I like that the club that the plot centers around was called the Coco Bongo.
What city was this set in?
I don't know.
Okay.
I also liked that some character at one point said, "You mess with Nico, you end up taking a dirt nap." I wrote that one down. And,
oh my God.
I guess there was a scene where The Mask and Cameron Diaz do a dance number, and then it like cross cuts with the bank robbery. That was probably a better moment, one of the better moments, other than before The Mask showed up.
Yeah.
And I would say that if this movie were made today, I think John Mulaney would be The Mask and Cillian Murphy could be the bad guy with the pretty eyes.
Okay. And who would be the babe?
Florence Pugh or someone older.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah, that old. Yeah, that old. Who would you replace Cameron Diaz with?
Sabrina Carpenter.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I don't know. What a uniquely terrible movie.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Jim Carrey's career. Although I guess he gave it up.
Right, unless it's for Sonic.
Oh my God. I wish I forgot about that.
Never forget. All right, you score it first this time.
Womp womp, big fat. I don't know. Probably a 1 for the dog.
I was gonna give it a 3, so a 2 out of 10. One of our lowest probably ever.
Well,
we can go lower.
Expected. I love when we give movies 10 out of 10 together. And
yeah,
I'm looking forward to the day we both say 0.
They say it's never been done.
That's our show, everyone. Thank you for listening. If you liked this episode, please send it to a friend. Or also, and additionally, please write us a review or leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Also Spotify, wherever you're listening. Just thank you. Leave us a review. Okay, that's it. Movie Mavens all the way out.